At first, nobody said it was wrong. That's what makes this transfer so interesting, because when it happened, the reaction wasn't outrage. It wasn't confusion, it was acceptance. A quiet agreement that this would somehow work. Even though deep down, most people weren't convinced. Barcelona didn't sign Antoine Griezmann because they needed him. They signed him because they needed certainty. At the time, Barcelona were already drifting. Neymar was gone, the Champions League humiliations had started, and the club was desperate to prove it was still in control. Griezmann looked like the answer. A World Cup winner, a superstar, a safe name. On paper, it made sense. But football isn't played on paper. From the moment the transfer was announced, the questions were obvious. Where does he play? Who does he replace? What problem does he actually solve? Griezmann wasn't a winger. He wasn't a number 9, and he wasn't taking Lionel Messi's role. Barcelona already had creators. What they lacked was balance. Still, everyone nodded along. The fee was enormous. The presentation was polished. The message was clear. This was a club still thinking big. But reality arrived quickly. From his first matches, Griezmann looked uncomfortable. Not bad, uncomfortable. His movements overlapped with Messi. His instincts didn't match the system. And his confidence never fully settled. He wasn't failing loudly. He was fading quietly. And that made it worse, because when a player fails quietly, the excuses last longer. He needs time. He's adapting. The system will adjust. But the system never did. Barcelona weren't built to integrate him. They were built around habits that already existed. Griezmann became a passenger in a team that no longer knew how to evolve. The numbers weren't terrible, but the feeling was wrong. Big games passed without impact. Decisive moments came and went. And slowly, the truth became harder to ignore. This wasn't a football decision. It was a comfort decision. Barcelona didn't buy Griezmann to fix the team. They bought him to reassure themselves, to tell fans they were still elite, to tell Europe they still mattered. And Griezmann paid the price for that denial. He tried to adapt, he worked, he stayed professional, but he never became essential. And in Barcelona, if you're not essential, you're temporary. By the time the club accepted reality, the damage was done. The fee couldn't be justified, the role couldn't be found. So they let him go. Quietly, almost apologetically. Back to the club where he made sense all along. Looking back, the signs were always there. The overlap, the lack of urgency, the absence of a real plan. But at the time, everyone pretended it would work, because admitting it didn't make sense meant admitting something bigger, that Barcelona had lost clarity. That identity had been replaced by reaction. That reputation was being used as strategy. This wasn't the worst transfer in football history, but it might be one of the most revealing, because it shows how great clubs don't fall with one bad decision. They fall when they stop being honest with themselves. Griezmann didn't fail Barcelona. Barcelona failed the moment they convinced themselves that a name could fix what structure once did. And that's why this transfer matters. Not for what it cost, but for what it exposed. If you want more football stories about decisions everyone agreed with, until they didn't, subscribe. Because this is what GoalLine Stories is about.